Hello and welcome to RPR Gp2. We are round 17 at Spa tonight. I'm hoping everything's going to be working alright because everything went wrong earlier on. It should be all good for audio. Let's get that on there. Just waiting for the drivers to load into the lobby. Where's my mouse gone? There it is. So whilst we wait for them to load in, I'll pop the standings up on screen. Johnny Stokes, massive lead, 132 points clear. I think he's only a couple of races away from tying up another Drivers' Championship. But Frenzy is holding on nicely into second place. James out in third, Andreas in fourth, Hobo in fifth, Moreland in sixth, Lister in seventh, Evan in eighth, Scotty in ninth, Carl in 10th, Mrs. Carl in 11th, Woomax tied in 11th with Mrs. Carl, Zodak in 13th, Speedy in 14th, Matty in 15th, Hepburn in 16th, Demon in 17th, Ashwin 18th, Nevo in 19th, and the spare Ferrari seat currently in 20th. And in the constructors, Aston Martin with a 148 point lead. So again, I think Aston will be tying up the Constructors' Championship shortly. I did do the maths the other week, well actually this weekend when I did the results, but I can't actually remember how many races it is until they are declared. AlphaTauri in second, McLaren in third, Alfa Romeo in fourth, Alpine in fifth, Haas in sixth, Red Bull in seventh, Mercedes in eighth, Ferrari and Williams tied in ninth apparently. Yes, no, they are tied. So we have got the track map up. Let's get the lap data up and find the drivers that are out on track. So Hepburn is the lead driver on this outlap, running on the mediums. Hoping to see Hepburn have a better run this time around. He's having a great run in TTFL until the last couple of laps where he unfortunately ended up doing it. I think it was 3 laps down in the end. He was classified, so he will pick up points for the TTFL race. Not as many as he would like, and he ultimately really deserved. Twitch of oversteer, he gets on the power out with the bus stop heading down towards turn 1. Dry weekend, thank you Hobo. So Hepburn invalidated on the run up towards O'Rourke, so we'll drop back to Carl, who's the first on track. Nope, that's Kyle out at the top of Radion, getting a snap of oversteer, putting him in the wall and taking a wheel off. That means we're looking at the Red Bull, but that is Moylan on an outlap. Lister, I think, is going to be our first driver to now set us a time as he makes his way down the Kemmel Straight. And dropping down towards the hairpin. through Paul Ferrer. Heading up now with Lister up towards Blancmont. Like a tidy lap into the bus stop. It's on the power nicely. Heads to the line of 47.7 from Lister. Nevo on an outlap. It will be the Haas of Zodak. Next across the line, just into the bus stop now. Crosses the line of 47.4 for Zodak, so it takes him to top of the table at the moment. It's Mike and Alpha Romeo of Evan. Next up will be the Aston. So Evan smashes the top time with a 44.0, so 3.5 seconds clear of Zodak. On board with Johnny as he comes round for his first time. James has gone through on a 48.0. Johnny on a 45.7, but that is on the hard tyre. So a good time from Johnny there. Mrs. Cole on a 46.3 takes her up into third. Hepburn gets a 47.1. Times are coming in thick and fast now. Craig has done a 47.4 as Moreland goes through on a 45.8 on the hard tyre. Lister stays out, so he's gone for a second run on that tyre, a 47.5. He does improve by 0.2. Doesn't move him up the standings. Nevo's invalidated this lap. Scotty's on an out lap. I think Zodak will be coming in. He's not, he's staying out. He's gone for 2 runs on this tyre. Does improve, it moves him up into 5th. So Zodak on 47.0. On the medium, a good mix of tyre here. So Evan on the softs on a 44.0. Johnny and Moyland on the hards on a 45.7 and a 45.8 respectively. Only 500s between the two. Mrs. Cole 46.3 on the soft. Zodak 47.0 on the medium. It's just gone through. James improving on his second run, goes to a 46.0 on that hard tyre, takes him into 4th. Craig on a 46.5 now in 6th. Zodak 47.0 on the mediums. Craig also on the medium. Hepburn a 47.1 on the medium. Lister 47.5 invalidated this lap. Still with half the grid to set a time. Frenzy's retired in the pits as is normal for Frenzy. Carl with the DNF. Still quite a few drivers to actually set a time at the moment. Nevo's in the pit. Scotty's invalidated. Hobo on an outlet. Demon in the pits. Decky is just starting his lap. So we'll stay with Decky as he makes his way around La Source. Little bit of a snap on the exit there. Heads up towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Cats in, please kick out. Okay, there's my orders from the wife. As Decky heads down Hemel Straight, 30.8 through sector 1. Through Lacon. Heading down towards Rivage. And yes, I have just found my track map that's got the actual corner names on it. And then into the left-hander of No Name. And then my favourite corner, Puon. If we get it wrong, it's absolutely shit. Oh no, we're going to try and pronounce that one. We do not want to destroy my ability to pronounce non-English names. It's horrendous. So as Decky heads up towards Blanchimont. And then, first time with Bjorn tonight, I think. So through the bus stop. And on the medium tyres, Decky is going to set us a 46.8, which moves him up into 7th and comfortably into Q2 as it stands. We go on and out lap as is validated. Scotty just making his way through Curve Pool for air. ERS flashing, detected is not deploying, and looking at his ERS on his display, he's not. That is working, no, I've not got to mess around sorting that one out. That's one way to go into the pit, Scotty. To get in without destroying the barrier. Hobo is just coming down the Camel straight. First timed run. Going to be losing 2 drivers. On top of those who are already out at the end of the session. Down into Rivard, going for the hard tyre. We'd have seen Hobo has the pace, certainly has been showing more speed of late and running at the top end of the grid. What can he do on the hard tyre? He needs to really make this lap count as the time counts down. While being the longest track on the calendar, so shortest amount of laps around here. But if you don't get your flow right in qualifying, you do miss the opportunity to improve. Nicely through the bus stop for Hobo, run to the line, keeps it to the right hand side of the track, so the shortest run to the line. 46.3 from Hobo, that should see him comfortably through into Q2. So drivers at risk at the moment are Nevo, who is starting it now because I've started yawning. Keeping it clean this lap around. So heading up towards Blanchimont, and then the bus stop chicane. What can Nevo pull out of the bag to set his first timed lap? Decky has retired in the pits. Nevo crosses the line. A 45.9 takes him up into 5th place. Donny retired in the pits. Alpine, Scotty making his way through Puon. Jake starting his lap. Lister is back on track. Currently sitting in 15th, so he needs to find improvement in this lap to make his way through into Q2. So, second and a quarter up, but then gets on the curb on the exit. That one, it doesn't have data on, so I can't see if it's picked up any damage there. Hopefully he's not picked up damage and has enough. He doesn't have the fuel to go, so we could be seeing the end of Lister in Q1 for the first time in quite some time. I can't actually think of the last time Lister went out in Q1. So Scotty and Jake are the two other drivers in the drop zone at the moment. Scotty is on a lap and pushing just through Pouon, heading towards Fagnes. Got a read on his sector 2 time. Makes his way round the right hander, 16.7. Game showing purple, no idea if it really is a purple sector. Hepburn has probably left the second. Let's see what time Scotty can do. Jake's on a 54.2. Has got time to go for another run. 45.2 from Scotty takes him up into second, as I'm just going to drop another invite to Hepburn so we can get him back into the session. It won't let me invite him, so he must be back in. So Jake only a couple of hundredths down. You are back in, Hepburn. Glad to see it. See what Jake can do. Can he jump up the grid, which fortunately would put Hepburn out. Lister cutting corners. Lister's not going to make it around to the start finish straight before the end of the session. But yes, that will be something that will be noted for the stewards. I just realised I've not put my setup on comical this Friday night. Well, yep, that's going to make it difficult for you, Hepburn. Okay, not going to have the energy or the fuel to make it through this lap. Hepburn, even without your setup, you've managed to scrape through, but I can't imagine this is going to be a fun race for you. You know, on Monday when we ran in BC1, I don't know what setup it gives you as a speed, but I think it will certainly increase top speed, so not the worst, but obviously not the best. I know Ludifer ran a more wet-based setup. I want to say 13, 15 wings, but I could be completely wrong. Definitely struggled for outright pace down the flat out straight. .818. I want to say fun, but at the same time I also want to say it's going to be horrendous. Turn the car off down the straight. No, keep the car on down the straight, turn the car off round the corner. You're going to have great pace through sector 2, and to be fair, Spa, it's one of those tracks where you have to make a compromise. It's either sector 1 and 3 or sector 2. If you can be fast through sector 2 race wise, it might not be the end of the world. But there we are, confirmation. At the end of Q1 we'll be saying goodbye to Lister, Jake, Kyle and Frenzy. See Frenzy retiring in the pits as he does week in and week out. Kyle with the DNF at the top of Radion, and Jake and Lister not making it through. How have I drank that many already? Oh well, you'll be glad I'm not driving tonight, because I've had far more beers than I realised. So into Q2, we'll be losing 5 at the end of this to go into the pole position shootout. We've got a Red Bull coming out on track. Looks like an Aston and a Haas further up. Hepburn is the first out on to track again in the Williams. Let's get the telemetry up so we can compare top speed at the end of the straight. So 199 for Hepburn. Evan on the 205. 6 mile an hour difference down the Kemmel straight. It's going to hurt Hepburn. He's going to carry that deficit all the way up through Ruth and Radion as well. He's going to be susceptible to the DRS of those behind. I hope he can carry more speed through the middle sector. He can open the gap. Out, break the DRS, although they activate all the detection points are at the exit of Blanchamont before the bus stop. So may be able to open it or maintain over a second gap down that back section. I think if they are close as you run through Ruth and Radion, they are going to pick up that DRS, so it'll be a sitting duck down the Kemmel straight. We'll see how he makes it through. I'll be glad to know it's only a 24 lap race. 30.6 for Hepburn in sector 1. Stay with him through the lap, and I'll try and make my brain remember the sector times. Left 3. Yawning, carrying on. Has been a long week. Big Reedy on the entry into Puon, riding the curb. So brave, that curb can throw you completely off and either send you backwards into the exit barrier or just kick you round and put you into the inside barrier. So 16.4 through sector 2. Time's not looking too bad for Hepburn. Through Blindtham on. There's the bus stop to negotiate now. And back on the power. Crosses the line at 45.5, so a decent time from Hepburn. Mrs. Cole, 17.2 in sector 2, 46.1 for Mrs. Cole. A 45.6 for Moyland on the hard tyre. James does a 46.4 on the hard tyre. As we've lost Craig on the exit of turn 15. He could have taken too much inside curb on the apex. We could have actually clipped the curb on the exit and unsettled the rear and thrown him into either wall. Stay with Womax as he makes his way down the Kemmel Straight. DRS open. Maxing out at 2.11, 31.0 for Womax down the Kemmel Straight. Oh, seriously. Stop yawning. Oh. Yellow flag through sector 2. That's Alpine is off track, allowing Womax through. Coming to the end of sector 2 as Evan does a 45.2, Womax a 17.9. So it's down on his flat this time around. Oh, is it eyes? Stop it, don't rub them, it makes it worse. Screw you, hay fever. That is Womax into the pits. Big corner cut there, Evan. So Evan currently on a 45.2 at the top of the table. Johnny on a 45.3. I think he'll be comfortably through into Q3. Hepburn on the 45.5. So those running the wrong setup. The time is competitive around those around him. Moreland on a 45.6. Womax on a 45.8. Hobo 46.1. Mrs. Carl on a 46.1 as well, only 600ths between the pair. And James on a 46.4. Tom Troll is a bit inflated as it would benefit from the downforce. Your middle sector's competitive, and it is a compromised track. You either go for straight line speed and compromise yourself through sector 2, or you go for the grip through sector 2, take the compromise in your straight line speed. Oh, stop yawning. As Demon goes through on a 44.5, so Demon to the top of the timetable. Yet to set a time are Zodak, Nevo, Scotty, Decky, Craig, who won't be able to, having put the car in the wall, and Scorito. I get a feeling we'll be seeing James back out on track. Ah, stop yawning. If the boss was still awake, I'd be telling her to bring me some Pro Plus or something to keep me awake. Or the racing will actually keep me awake when we get underway. So Zodak is on a time run of 30.5 to sector 1 for Zodak. Head through Lacombe and down to Rivage. Very tidy, now through No Name. James just behind, but he's on an outlap, so I'm sure he'll be looking to try and gain as much advantage as possible when we come to the start. To end of sector 2, 17.8 for Zodak, and that's a Red Bull in the wall, and that was Nevo on the exit of turn 15. So I'm trying to see how long left in the second format, so we should be able to get back into the pits and get back out for another run. As Zodak crosses the line of 46.5 that time around, that's puts Zodak into 12th, so not through at the moment. Possibly got the fuel to go for another run, but he is going to need to get a bit of a move on at the same time as trying to save a bit of fuel and recover some energy. So missed James's split at the end of sector 1. This is coming through No Name, heading down towards Puon. Swap to that screen. So James through sector 2, over a second up on his time, so that's going to take him to 45. So it's going to put him, I think, comfortably into the top 10. So he makes his way through Blanchemont and now into the bus stop. It's a car nicely through on the power. 45.3 for James, takes him up into 5th. So he just jumped his teammate by 44 thousandths. Very closely matched on time between James and Johnny. Oh, the missed Hobo going out. And I only noticed because he's commented in the chat that his wheel turned off in the middle of the turn. That is very unfortunate, Hobo. Times are very close. Stop yawning. Times are very close in the top 10. Nevo and Scorito yet to set a time. Nevo just coming through the bus stop to start it's going to be his only attempt now. Scorito in the pits, so Scorito won't be making it through. Zodak pushing this time around, 7/10 up through sector 2, just through the bus stop, runs very wide on the exit, but keeps it within track limits apparently. Moves up into 9th on a 45.7. So that's enough to get through at the moment. Wumax is just starting a lap. Decky coming through Rivard. Nevo's invalidated, so Nevo isn't going to make it through. We'll stay with Decky as the only one who has the option. James was on the mediums. He was on the hards. Yeah, so James and Johnny on slightly different tyre strategy for Q2. As I'm getting slated in Discord, but Decky does improve up to a 45.2. Takes Decky up into 5th. Puts Wumax in the knockout zone. And Wumax not improving at all. 20 seconds down on that lap. Sorry, that was Zodak 20 seconds down. Wumax just coming through bus stop now. Crosses the line, a 44.9 from Wumax takes him up into 3rd place in Q2. Great time from Wumax just when it counted. Zodak, I'd imagine, will be coming straight into the pits. He stays out, but then that allows the session to move on. Okay, do your opening statement. Cheers, Aludika. So at the end of Q2, we'll be saying goodbye to Zodak, Hobo, Nevo, Craig, and Scorito. I don't know why I've screenshotted that. I'll do the results off of the stream feed anyway. There we go. So top 10, Scotty with the fastest time of 44.4. Scotty's showing some real improvement in pace recently. Hopefully he'll be able to translate that quali pace into race pace. Al Luderfoot confirming my initial statement of being an idiot was relating to the F123 beta. I thought it was second weekend this weekend, but it's actually the end of May, so another few weeks and have access to the beta again, hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed they haven't destroyed the handling model, because I found in the short bit of running I had in the initial beta release, the handling model was massively improved over the 22 game. There are several bits I do want to test out if I do get gifted access to the second round of beta. I want to test out trying to force the red flag and see how that's implemented in the game. I'll test a bit of wet running. I've been asked to test how it drives on controller, which will be interesting because I've not used controller for F1 for several years, multiple years. We'll see how it feels. I'll give an honest opinion to James, who's asked me to try it. My honest opinion is get a wheel. It's a driving game, you've got to do it on wheel. You had a wheel and then you got rid of the wheel. Get the wheel back. But we're going to stay with Mrs. Carl, who's first out on track in the Haas. And I hope my eyes stop stinging, otherwise this could be a very long race. Up towards O'Ruth and Radion for Mrs. Carl. That looked like rain. Definitely rain on track, so Mrs. Cole in prime position to set maybe one of the only fast laps of Q1. See how she does through No Name now and Puon. Looking exceptionally wet, but there is definitely rain falling. I swear Hobo said dry weekend. He did. Second back on the chat. Oh, why is the lap data not on? Why? No. I don't even care, we've only got a couple of months to go until the new game. Stop complaining about all the bugs in this one. Build it all up in preparation. That's something else I want to do, is run a spectator race, or spectate a race. So 45.9 for Mrs. Cole takes her to provisional pole. As Moyland And yet the times are gonna just drop now. Johnny Suggs a 44.1 to take provisional pole. Moylan in second on a 44.2. Evan on a 45.2. So second between Evan and Moylan. James on a 45.8. Still on that medium tyre. If the rain does get worse, he may regret that decision. Mrs. Cole on the 45.9. Decky's just gone up into fourth on a 45.6. Hepburn's on a 46.0. Scotty and Demon yet to leave the pits. Womax on an outlap. So is the rain going to play a part? It's only going to make the track slower. Haven't seen DRS disabled flag up yet. Yellow flag through sector 2. Is for a Moyland who is out of fuel. Everyone's going to be coming back into the pit. All of a sudden just plummeted. An awful lot of heat coming out of the PlayStation, but the temperature where I'm sat feels like it's just dropped about 15 degrees in a split second. So you're going to have to bear with me. I'll put my hoodie back on. That's better. So Johnny and Moylan still in the pits. The rain does look to be getting a bit heavier. Evan is back out on track. Go up the camel. The rain not looking too bad. Max on their first time run, just coming round the right hander into sector 2 of 17.1 for Womax on the run up towards Blancmont. See, I completely missed that comment, Hepburn. The beers aren't putting me to sleep. The rather long day is. So Womax does a 45.7 and goes into 5th place. There is still some speed out on track. The rain not affecting things too badly at the moment. Hepburn coming to start another timed run. It's on the end of his outlap. Stay with Hepburn for a moment as he makes his way through La Source and up towards O'Ruth. Nicely through Radion. Onto the Kemmel Straight. Stop yawning. So he is up on his previous time, so definitely still time to be gained out there. Through Rivard, it's a little irritating how long Sector 2 is here at Spa. If we had the micro sector points. In the F1 TV stream, only allowed those for a couple of races and then it disappeared, and it was actually a really helpful thing to see who through each sector where people were gaining. As Hepburn having a not very good middle sector, he was over a second down through sector 2. It looks like he's just trying to prep those tyres, but that rain does look like it's getting heavier. Moreland going for the Yarno random 360 on the exit of the can. I think he was trying to keep out of the way of someone. Current provisional pole is Johnny. We'll stay with Johnny, see what we can do through sector 1. To have a bit of a lock up into the bus stop, but he's going to start the lap now. Heading down towards La Source. Making a lot of curb on the inside of La Source. Headed up towards Eau Rouge. Just invalidates on the exit. Moreland into the pits. I don't think he's going to have time to come back out. Evan in the pits. Decky's retired in the pits. James definitely glowing slow, and DRS is disabled, so I doubt we're going to see any improvement. Only ones who could improve were Decky and James. Not Decky, sorry, Hepburn. Hepburn has invalidated that run. James has invalidated as well. Bear with me. So I try giving it a little bit more front wing Hepburn, but I know it doesn't help now. But when I ran here Monday, I ran a 3-1 wing setup, so a couple of clicks more front wing. But you can tweak your front wing. It's your rear wing you can't alter in Parc Ferme. But there we go, confirmation. Johnny Stokes takes the pole. Moyland in second, Evan in third, Decky in fourth, Womax in fifth, James in fifth, Mrs. Carl in seventh. Womax in fifth, James in sixth, Mrs. Carl in seventh, Scotty in eighth, Hepburn in ninth, and Demon in 10th. Probably have to just full send the lower downforce. Suspension makes a big difference. Again, it's something you can't really alter in Parc Ferme. Prediction. Chaos into turn 1. James going for an Aston double podium. Yes. But it's who's going to be in the middle of that podium. My money's on Scotty with the pace he's been showing. Penalties could come into play because I think Scotty and Johnny are very evenly matched on pace round here. Right. No more beer. Let's go for a monster. Maybe. So Scotty and Hepburn disqualified during the formation lap. That's not a good start. So Johnny and Moylan going for the medium. Evan on the hards. Decky and Womax on the mediums. James and Mrs. Cole on the hards. Scotty on the hards. Hepburn on the medium. Demon on the hards. Zodak and Hobo on the mediums. Nevo on the hards. Bragan Spirito medium. Lister on the hards down in 16. Jake on the mediums, and then Carl and Frenzy on the hards. So fairly even mix on tyre strap. See how that plays out through the race. So medium starters looking at the pit stop between lap 10 and 13. If there were early safety car, hard runners could push long and go for a hard soft. Late safety car. Been quite a short lap in quite a short race in terms of number of laps. Safety car could play a big part. So it looks like Johnny's stopped a long way back in the box. Has positioned it aggressively over towards the left. Mrs. Cole not parking in the box. Zodak can't park in the box. Jake can't park in the box. Lots of people can't park tonight. It's 5 lights, and as normal we hear them go in, and then give or take half an hour, we see him going. So Connie with a good start there. Managing to cover Moyland off into turn one. Evan hanging on in third. They head towards O'Rood. Decky's got a bit of breathing space from the house behind of Mrs. Cole and Zodak as Hepburn looking to try and find a way through on Zodak. They head down the Kemmel Straight. Drive-through penalty for Hobo, ignoring yellow flags. Not sure what's happened to Hobo there. See any yellow flags pop up on the map. That's horrendous at the start of the race for Hobo. That's going to cost him pretty much most of the pack. That's going to drop him down the back. Scotty's had an abysmal start and now running round in 19th. And carrying a bit of front wing damage as well. The only thing I can say, if Scotty is listening, horrendous as it feels, it's not that bad. You can drive with that level of wing damage. You'll lose a bit of time to those in front, but it's debatable this early on whether it is worth just coming in, swapping the tyres out and getting the new wing. So Moyland sticking with Johnny over that first lap. Evan losing a little bit of ground to this front pair. Moyland and Johnny are, well, two of the fastest drivers in the league. Moyland will be benefiting from the slipstream of Johnny and running on faster tyre, certainly for the first stint. Opening that gap up, we've got Mrs. Cole going wheel to wheel with Womax. Whole gaggle of cars behind Mrs. Cole. Frenzy, Lister, Jake and Demon all right in this battle. In 9th and 10th place. So Womax is starting to break that gap though. Womax pulling away from Mrs. Cole. Demon and Jake battling at the back of this train. Demon managing to hold on to 11th. Moyland picked up the fastest lap with it into the bus stop. Lister trying to find a way past on the Frenzy, but not able to make it happen this time around. Frenzy looking around the outside of Mrs. Cole to go through the source. Can't get it to stick, and we're now heading up towards a roof. Frenzy almost pushing Mrs. Cole up the hill. Running slightly wide on the exit of Radion. Allows Lister through, and Lister then making the move on Mrs. Cole down the Kemmel Straight, so Lister up into 8th. Whilst that battle was going on, I completely missed the fact that Moyland managed to get into the lead and get past Donny. important move for Moylan because he wants to try and control the race from the front. James is closing up towards Zodak as we come down to the bus stop. Moylan with the fastest lap of 48.0. Yawning. He's got the eyes hurting. I hate hay fever. Got my head in. Genuinely can't see what's going on the screen in front of me. I'm streaming at the moment. But just on the back of James and Zodak, but out of the DRS, so losing a bit of ground as James gets the benefit of that DRS on Zodak. Johnny not letting go of the back of Moylan, still within the DRS. They make their way round Kuon. Dropping back to the back. What's happened to Mrs. Cole now down in 16th? So Mrs. Cole's had a moment somewhere. Dropped completely out of the battle she was in earlier on. 4-9th place. Got a bit of a DRS train formed from 8th down to 11th. Vista, Jake, Frenzy and Demon all keeping close company. Moylan again with the fastest lap. Johnny looking a tad closer this time around as they go through La Source, head towards Aru. Over Radion, and we've got a full safety car. We've got a safety car, no one's retired. Mrs. Cole into the pits. Haas are waiting there. It's not a wing. Into the pits. No wing needed for Scotty either. Taking advantage of the safety car for keep stop. Nevo in. There is a wing for Nevo, so is that why the safety car came out? Nevo going onto the soft tyre. Interesting. Hepburn in addition telling Scotty that he, as in Hepburn, is a fucking idiot. What do you do, Hepburn? Is that why Scotty's pitted? Did you cause it? The punishment for taking an admin of the league out is like really hard. I've not told any of the other admins, but it now requires the payment of £15,000 via PayPal to said admin as way of compensation. So I'm sure Scotty will send you his PayPal address and you can make that payment at your earliest convenience. You know what? Well done. you in the middle of a race. I know it's a safety car, but I'm gonna guess you had a moment through a corner and Scotty was rather close, and it just resulted in a bit of contact. Carl into the pits in the Alfa Romeo. Across the tyre stops and no wing. Moyland and Johnny stopping under the safety car. We've lost Lister. Lister on the exit of the bar. Just got to see if the car's still there. Lister must have caught the curb on the inside. You can ride the curb on the inside, or you catch the curb on the outside and settle the rear. Strange one. And that is our first non-finish of the night. Safety car staying out for another lap of Scorito into the pit. Dropping all the way to the back pretty much. Yep, Nevo's going to get past. A bit of work to do for Scorito. James enjoying running 1-2 in the Aston. First place at the moment is occupied by the safety car. I'd still love the option to drive the safety car. I reckon that's something EA could bring in. Host, if they're in, spectator gets to drive the safety car and control the pace. So Hepburn running in second place. Both James and Hepburn yet to stop. So expect to see Moyland and Donny very aggressive on the restart as they try and fight their way through. Excuse me. Frenzy yet to stop, and everyone else has made at least one stop. I'm gonna guess safety car in this lap. There we are. Like I'm psychic. Will back the pack up as they make their way down towards Duncan Ron. Out the way now. So far the monster not helping to stop my tiredness. That is the joy of fairly busy week. James making his way out of the bus stop. Hepburn not giving him any breathing space. Hepburn right on the back as they go down towards the source. Managed to break a little bit of breathing space over Moyland and Johnny behind. Moyland goes very wide in the Red Bull. Into the barrier and straight away challenging down the Kemmel. Around the outside of James, puts him on the inside. Big snap of oversteer under traction. Through Rivard, Moyland has managed to get in front. Johnny up into third, so Johnny getting past Hepburn as well, as I almost expected to happen. James not holding his teammate up, allowing the pass so he can go in pursuit of Moyland. I must say, this season, James has had the pace, but is very much playing the team game. Allowing Johnny through without putting up a fight as Evan and Craig change places, so Evan up into ninth. Hobo taking advantage of Craig being slightly offline. So Hobo up into 10th. Craig under pressure now from Mrs. Cole and Scotty. Scotty trying to find his way up the inside of Mrs. Cole. Sounds quite wrong. But Mrs. Cole standing around, not letting that move happen. Moyland picks up a penalty for multiple warnings. It's going to hurt him come the end of the race. Johnny's found his way through. So Johnny up into the lead, Moyland in second, James holding on to a comfortable third at the moment. Hepburn running in a very strong fourth place. Frenzy in fifth, and they've got a bit of a gap opening to Womax in sixth. So James, Hepburn and Frenzy all need to try and open this gap over Womax. Hope that Womax can be slowed down by a battle developing with Demon. And to try and build a pit stop gap. It's going to be hard to do nearly halfway into the race. As Nevo's out. Nevo out on the exit of turn 15. That allows Hepburn Frenzy into the pits. Zodak staying out, having pitted earlier under the previous safety car. James staying out as well. So Womax, Demon, Evan, Scotty, Mrs. Cole, Kyle and Decky all into the pits. Scorito picking up a 3-second penalty. Aston 1 and 3. Moyland, the Red Bull meet in the middle of that Aston sandwich. James still needing to make a stop. Oh, you save some time on a stop under safety car. He's going to be trying to push his teammate and Moyland along if he wants to try and get in and back out in front of Zodak. Everyone driving to the Delta. Why stop rubbing your eyes? It's not helping, it's making it worse. Making it so bad you can't even see the screen right in front of you. So Johnny into the pit. Sam say that is an after stayed out because Johnny's into the pits. We're halfway point. Let's let them bring Johnny out. Comes out of the pits, drops out into 6th place. So bold move from Johnny, going on to the hard tyre as well. He may have gone from the medium that time around. Johnny going for the tyre advantage over Moyland. Let's look at the tyres. We're going to have a 5-lap tyre life advantage. We are halfway through the race now. So it's the second safety car, so Jones is the only driver ahead of Johnny that's still got the pit. Bold call from Johnny. See how well Moyland can hold off James behind. Try and go long on these hards now. Hope for a late safety car. Safety car staying out for at least another lap. Moyland running 16%, 17 on the rear. Slightly better on the wear compared to Moyland. Craig not sharing his telemetry data. Craig, why aren't you sharing your telemetry data? You know better than that. Johnny running in 5th. Bit of work to do for Johnny when we get going again. Decky into the pits again. Can catch up to the pack before the start of sector 3. Back on the racing conditions. could just get to the back of the pack. On the back of the pack now, so hopefully we'll have safety car in this lap as it passes sector 3's, sector 2's timeline. There it is. 2 safety cars in a row. I predicted the lap it comes in. If only I could do that 6 times with the lottery numbers, I'd be very happy. So Moyland now backing up the pack and allowing the safety car. When does Moyland choose to go? Just coming up towards Blanchimont. It's going to be somewhere around the bus stop. It's not, he's gone early. And he has caught Zodak napping. Zodak very late on the brakes into the bus stop, trying to recoup that time that he lost. It's not worked out. He's lost a little bit more time there, going late on the brakes. Moyland's early getaway catching Zodak out, allowing him to build nearly a second gap. They head towards Aru. Looks like he's got most of the pack out. Johnny on the back of Craig. We come onto the Kemmel straight. Scotty. We've lost Scotty at the top of Radion. It's not caused a safety car, but that is Scotty out of the race. We had such great pace during qualifying. Really unfortunate to have lost Scotty. So that's 3 drivers out of the race so far. Johnny closing in towards the back of Hobo. I've really said change the camera. On the softs, on the back of Frenzy. Hobo gets past Zodak, so Hobo up into second. He's got 2.5 second gap to Moyland to try and close down. Johnny making his way past Zodak as well through Blanchimont and into the bus stop. So Johnny up into 3rd place, not wasting any time pushing on those fresher tyres. James grabbing the fastest lap, having pitted onto the mediums. Currently sitting down in 13th. Got quite a bit of work to do to try and make his prediction come through of an Aston double podium. Johnny and Hobo battling it out. Hobo on the inside into Rivard gives him the advantage as they come through the left-hander of No Name. Dropping down the hill towards Pouon. Hobo holding on to that 2nd place. Not letting up though, trying to take full advantage of that fresher tyre. Though the slightly more worn tyre of Hobo probably giving him a bit of a grip advantage. That was a Haas. Which Haas was that? That was the Zodak round on the exit of 15. Got away with no damage. How he got away with no damage, I'll never know. As Moylan takes the fastest lap, Hobo holding on to second, Johnny pushing through the... Oh, I can't remember the track name, and my brain's gone completely dead and my eyes are burning. So Demon and Zodak in the pits. Johnny right on the back of Hobo as they come onto the Kemmel straight. Goes around the outside, so Johnny up into second. Hobo coming under pressure as well from Frenzy. That's Frenzy through as well. So Hobo losing 2 places down the Kemmel. Johnny picking up the 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. It gives Moyland a little bit of breathing space. He's not got to push as hard, but both running on the same penalty. Frenzy with the incentive now to keep pushing and try and stick on the back of Johnny. A late safety car now would really help Frenzy. Turn off the tyre rotor for the time being. So 5.5 second advantage out in front for Moyland. Frenzy holding on to the DRS just about on Johnny. We come down the start finish straight. Evan picking up the fastest lap of 47.1 for Evan as he makes his way past Hobo into the first corner. Hobo managing to fight it back on the exit, heading towards Eau Rouge. Evan looking to carry a lot more speed up through Radion. Now on to the Kemmel straight with the DRS. Should be a straightforward pass, but Hobo fighting that out, not making it easy for Evan, but Evan does get it done. So Evan up into 4th place. Moylan still holding that gap to Johnny at about 5.5 seconds, and Johnny not able to take full advantage of the fresher tyre at the moment. Got Frenzy for company still. Frenzy holding on to the DRS as Drake's had a moment and dropped down into 12th place. So James has got back up through the order. I completely missed keeping an eye on James on the restart. He's up into 6th from 13th after his pit stop. He has got some work to do. We've got 6 laps to go, and he is doing the math. 1.7. 8 seconds off of the podium. So a bit of work to do for James to try and close up if he wants to try and match that prediction he made in the chat earlier on. One is slowly closing into Moylan. The gap still sitting at 4.7. With 5 laps to go. Johnny needs to be finding a second a lap at least over Moylan to try and take the win. He's got Frenzy for company in 3rd, currently in the last podium position. Doesn't really look like Johnny is able to break this gap from Frenzy, so Frenzy will get the benefit of the DRS. I think ultimately will slow Johnny down as he's trying to look and defend from Frenzy behind. close the gap. It did go down through the middle sector, but it is opening back up again. Craig in a battle for Womack's over the final points position. You've got Scarito on the back of this as well. We're looking to take advantage of any mistake made in front. James not really gaining on Hobo. As it stands, Hobo with the DRS on Evan, so that's going to help him maintain that gap behind as they head up through O'Rouge into Radion. I think Hobo's just outside the DRS, so we won't get that added benefit down the Kemmel Straight. Craig and Mrs. Cole trade places into the first corner. Craig now up into 8th place. Mr. Cole's going to be coming under pressure from Womack's as well as they come down the Kemmel Straight. Mrs. Cole and Womack's both with the DRS. Not enough of a speed advantage to try and put a move in on Craig. Connie's taken about 4/10 out of the gap to Moyland. Not enough at the moment. 4 laps to go. A 4.5 second deficit to find. He's got a slightly fresher tyre. I think it's going to be a big ask for Johnny to find and close that gap to Moyland. Johnny could, as it stands, lose out on the podium. No, Evan and Hobo both carrying the penalty. Penalties they're carrying, so... Stop yawning! Stop yawning. As it stands, Connie will lose out to Frenzy, but he'll stay ahead of Evan and Hobo. Decky and Scarito find their way past Womack's. In. Carl and James battling it out at the end of the Kemmel Straight, but James managing to hold on as they go through a corner, the com. Can't read that. Mamadi is the right hander on that game. We've got, oh, this is going to annoy Moyland. We've got a full safety car. We've lost Decky and Demon. Oh, their cars are in the middle of the track, but Zodak managing to thread his way through there. So we are under safety car. It's going to be a 1-lap safety car. Moyland into the pit, so I'm going to guess this is for softs. Johnny stays out, Evans stays out, Frenzy into the pits, Hobo into the pits, James into the pits, Carl into the pits. So Moyland giving up track position in favour of getting onto the soft tyre. Will give Moyland the advantage come the restart. He's going to have some work to do. Evan on the mediums, Johnny on the hards. Frenzy manages to come back out in 4th on the soft. Craig stayed out on his 14 lap old hards. Mrs. Cole stayed out on her mediums. Hobo pitted for fresh softs. Womack stayed out. James, Kyle and Scorito all pitting for the softs. Zodak stayed out. Jake on the softs as well. There's going to be no DRS for the rest of this race. Safety car has it's got to come in at the end of this lap. Evening, Speedy. Moyland or Frenzy is going to win. It's 2 laps. When they're both on the better tyre for outright 2-lap pace. Wait and see. Safety car is in this lap. We expected. How late does Johnny go? Looks like Johnny's gone for the same restart thought that Moyland had on the previous safety car. He's managed to drop Evan. Moyland's passed Evan. I'm not sure if that's an illegal overtake, if I'm honest. Unless Evan had a moment. Evan's disappeared down the order. I'm guessing Evan must have had a moment on the restart under traction. Johnny's managed to open that gap to over 2 seconds on Moyland, and I completely forgot to flick through. Mrs. Cole and Hobo going side by side. Hobo getting in front, so Hobo takes the 4th place. Moyland closing that gap to Johnny now. It's less than a second. We're only just through No Name. James on that soft tyre as well, clearing Mrs. Cole without any issue, going in pursuit of the AlphaTauri and looking to try and maximise the result for Aston Martin. AlphaTauri are their closest rival in the constructors, though Aston have a compounding lead at the moment. Moyland's through on Johnny, so hasn't even taken a lap on those fresh softs. Get the move done. Into the bus stop. Johnny not giving up, but I think it's going to struggle against Moyland on those fresh softs. On to the final lap. Frenzy close behind as well. Is Frenzy going to cause an upset as it stands at the minute? When penalties come into play, Frenzy is going to take the win. Depending how close he can keep to Johnny. Can he find his way past down the camel? Closes under braking into Lecombe. Not close enough to make the move at the moment. Moyland trying to maximise that gap to Johnny whilst Johnny's under pressure from Frenzy. So they make their way through No Name down towards Pouon. Moyland opening that gap in front to over a second and a half. Frenzy taking a very tight line through Pouon. Trying to find a way through on Johnny as they come around turn 15, going up the inside. Have the better traction on exit with that fresher tyre. Johnny just holding on. Johnny looking to try and keep hold of second place on track at least as we go through bus stop. Moyland comes across the line, takes a win on track. Just holds on to the win when the penalties come into play. So Moyland takes a win, Frenzy in second, Johnny gets third, James in fourth, Hobo picks up fifth, Kyle in fifth, Jake in seventh, Woomax in eighth, Scorito in ninth. So Scorito gets a ninth and put it in the wall over the pit, over the start finish line. Jake gets the game's driver of the day. I've no idea who to give my driver of the day to. So confirmation, Moyland takes the win by just over a quarter of a second on Frenzy in second. Johnny Stokes takes the final podium position in third, James in fourth, Hobo in fifth, Kyle in sixth, Jake in seventh, Woomax in eighth, Scorito in ninth, Zodak in 10th, Craig just outside the points in 11th, Mrs. Carl in 12th, Evan in 13th, but going 2 laps down, so I'm guessing he retired in the pits after whatever happened in those final couple of laps. Your first non-finisher was Demon, then Decky, Hepburn, Scotty, Nevo and Lister. That was a bit of a broken up but hectic race. Thank you everyone in the chat for getting involved. Thank you Speedy, thank you James, thank you Hepburn, Hobo with the weather report at the beginning. I hope you've all enjoyed that race. I will be back Monday for France with my driver POV. Hobo will be on commentary. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'll be back tomorrow for Spain in the F2 Saturday League, and then back again Monday for GP1 at France. Hobo will be providing commentary on Monday on his Twitch channel, so be sure to check that out. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, Hobo's got the DXT FIFA Chairman League streaming from 7:30, and then back again Friday for TTFL Tier 1, and I have no idea what track they're at next week. And then RPR Gp2 back on Friday at 10:30 for France. Thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next week. Take it easy.